Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with another live, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. Back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We got some things that we currently need to discuss going on in the boxing world. We're gonna talk about Xander Zayas and Sebastian Fundora most likely being next. It says I'm muted. Who said I'm muted? I'm muted.
We just check on your phone.
It says, nah, you good. Oh, all right. Anyways, like I was saying, Xander Zayas versus Sebastian Fundora seeming to be next on both of these guys' radars. Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos supposedly being in the works. And then we're going to get into some open boxing topics. But before I get into that, man, y'all hit the like button. Let's get the algorithm on the up so the people know that Mazuma TV is live. You feel what I'm saying? We live in the flesh, in the motherfucking building, man. Shout out to the Wrench Gang. Shout out to the members of the channel. You feel what I mean? My boy Coffee playing in the building. Big Soldier MX. Forever Dedicated. StreamYard. G-Bo. Agent 86. I'm assuming you changed your name, Agent. Is that what it is? I thought it was Agent 007. You changed it to 86. Let me know if that's you or not. Lorenzo in the motherfucking Benzo. Notch, what up? He said, nah, my shit was down. All right, you changed it to Agent 86. All right, salute. We always gonna know you as Agent 007 though, man. You held that name up too long. Now we familiar with it, my brother. Come on, man. But anyways, we got some good things going on, man. I was gonna have Greg Hackett join me on the live tonight, but he's not feeling too good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna check in with him tomorrow and see if we could possibly get that going. Also, we looking to have Rolly Romero on the channel on either Thursday or Saturday, man. So be on the lookout for that. You know, once I get, as the week ends, you know what I'm saying, I will have a more definitive answer. Until then, man, we definitely gonna get it popping this week for sure. You said 86 sounds better. All right. Yeah. We definitely gonna get it. We gonna get it popping for sure. It's definitely my week. You know what I mean? I'm seeing niggas popping off, doing their little thing. So I'm like, you know what? Let me, I don't really be doing the interviews and all that shit, man. But let me flex. You know what I'm saying? Let me flex something real quick, cause you know what I mean? I be moving so solo that I be so solo on this YouTube shit that niggas be forgetting how connected I am. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna definitely have to flex eventually. You know what I'm saying? Cause I be seeing niggas, I'm like, man, hold up, nigga. You doing too much. You know what I mean? Y'all niggas doing too much. Let me show y'all niggas something. Greg Hackett always show love. He not Hollywood. Yeah, he be around, bro. I ran into Greg on a Saturday night. We was at the same event. You know what I mean? I ran into him. I forgot to I had forgot to ask him about the interview or to just, chop it up with me on the channel. So I just reached out to him today. We were supposed to do it today or whatever the case is. But yeah. What this nigga talking about? I'm here for you. What that mean? Yeah, you gotta be careful with your word selection, my brother. I'm here for you. What type shit is that? Yo, this nigga StreamYard be flirting with me, yo. Tell this nigga something.
What he said?
Punk ass talking about I'm here for you and all this crazy shit.
Why would he say that for?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Punch this nigga in his mouth. See, she don't give a fuck, man. Shit crazy. She just be letting people flirt with me. She don't let like 2 girls flirt with me.
Who?
You.
When?
Them 2 damn DoorDash drivers. You let both of them flirt with me. You know what I'm saying? She don't care.
All that matters is how you handle it.
Word?
Yeah.
So you cool with a girl? That's disrespectful though.
It is, but I like to see how you handle it.
Oh, so it fall on me. So fuck the bitch that go out their way to try to fuck with me. It's all about how I handle it. You see how unfair shit is for men. Y'all see how that shit go? I would never be cool with a nigga trying to flirt with my girl. It's all about how you handle it, babe. Imagine how much of a sucker I would sound like if I said that. I be on niggas' asses when they try to friend request her. And girls be flirting with me and she don't even care. You're the boxing guy. Okay. Okay, sir. You got one. Nah, whatever. She wants you to hit any girl that say hello to you with a stone cold stunner. That's crazy. You ain't never see that before, right? Google it. YouTube it. The stone cold stunner.
Stone
cold stunner. Never heard of Stone Cold Steve Austin? Wrestler, bald head, white boy. Yo, the funniest shit was when Stone Cold, yeah, that's the move right there. When he kick you in the stomach and then bring you down.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, look, Stone Cold used to whoop Vince McMahon ass. That shit. Yo, the funniest shit was when Stone Cold stunnered the whole Vince McMahon family, bro. Y'all remember that shit? Yo, the fucking dad came out, he stunned him. The son came out, he stunned him. The daughter came out, he stunned her. The mom came out, he stunned her. Yo, Stone Cold didn't give a fuck, bro. He had them all laid out in the ring. The fucking wife was like old as hell, just laid out like this and shit. Yeah. That's so crazy. You don't know who Stone Cold is. Look, there you go. He stuns all the McMahons. Look, the daughter comes up. He said, give old Stone Cold a kiss. Look. The old ass mom come out. Swear to God, this shit is the bed, yo. That's the funniest shit of all time. Yo, this nigga Stone Cold, the mom, bro. She look fragile as shit. She's like one of them old heads that fall and just break something, just have random falls, life alert buttons. He ain't give a fuck about none of that. Yo, that shit the bed. But yeah, that's what he said. He want that's what you want me to do to girls that try to flirt with me.
Yeah.
She agrees, Lorenzo. Yo, who the fuck StreamYard think he is? Yo, did y'all pack this nigga? I don't care about no Stone Cold. Let's hear this knowledgeable boxing talk. Yo, get this nigga the fuck out of here, yo. Get him out. Get him out. Get the step in, nigga. Ain't nobody ever gonna tell me, ain't nobody ever gonna talk to me like that. Pack him up. Who gonna smack you with the wrench first?
Can I try?
You too slow, baby. You gotta be in the chat already.
I wanna try to wreck somebody.
Pack that nigga up for good. Like my nigga Dr. Umar said. Shout out to my nigga Dr. Umar. Who packing him up first? I think I already know who gonna pack him up first, but let me see.
I don't even know how to do it.
Hold on. Let me see who packed him up. Pack that nigga the fuck up. Oh, I thought Anonymous was gonna get him. Talking about he don't care about no motherfucking Stone Cold. Nigga, fuck you, nigga. AJ86 said, be gone, thought. Absolutely. Nigga gonna tell me. I knew we was gonna pack him up. I was telling him that shit yesterday. I said, eventually we gonna pack you up. Fuck out of here, nigga. Come back as motherfucking come back as Skype, nigga. Nigga, StreamYard, come back as Skype. Come back as Uvu, fuck nigga. Yeah, come back as Uvu. Come back as another streaming service, you bitch ass nigga. Anyways.
How do you put people in timeout?
Huh?
How do you put people You just click on that.
I put people in timeout. Man, I'm about to take your goddamn wrench. Go ahead, leave a comment real quick so I can take your wrench.
No, why?
I know some of us love our children, but some of our children are so far gone that we're going to have to put some of them to sleep in order to take back the neighborhood. Some of y'all don't want to hear that because you don't live in reality. But I'm telling you, as a psychologist, I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them on the corner. Some of them going to sleep for good.
Some of them niggas going to sleep for good.
But I'm not African, though. I don't feel like an African.
Shout out to my nigga Dr. Umar. Some niggas gotta go to sleep for good. Anyways, let's do what StreamYard said now that he's no longer present. And get into this knowledgeable boxing talk, man. Mazuma TV, the home of boxing excellence. Let's get into some good boxing talk, man. We got some good things, some interesting things that's going on in the sport of boxing. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Shout out to Art, man. He said, what's popping, family? What's going on, man? What's going on, brother? What's going on? I hope everything is well with you and yours. Yeah, I mean? But let's go to Lance Pugmire, man. Shout out to Lance Pugmire on, Twitter. He put out some pretty good news today. And he said that he had just had a conversation with Samson Lukowicz, and he had dropped 2 bombshells. Apparently, Sebastian Fundora's team will be complying with the WBO's mandate for Sebastian Fundora versus Xander Zayas and expect a July or August date. So that's actually pretty dope, man, that, we might actually see Xander Zayas get this opportunity for a world title by the end of the summer. You know what I'm saying? I already knew that something was in the air. I already knew something was up when I seen Xander at a PBC event. I never seen Xander at a PBC event. And I look at Xander as one of those guys where if he ain't really got no business there, he ain't got no business there. You feel what I'm saying? Just like I said yesterday. So, you know what I'm saying? He said, StreamYard 2 comment incoming. Yeah, he creating that email right now as we speak. Like, motherfucker, Mazuma, that motherfucker, now I got to come back and StreamYard 2. And so I could speak my mind. Lame ass nigga. But, yeah, man. So, Xander Zayas is over there. He knew the WBO was going to announce the mandate, after Sebastian Fundora's fight with Cordell Booker. He disposed of Cordell Booker relatively easy. So, yeah, man, Xander Zayas is in line. I do think he kind of skipped the line in all honesty. I didn't really see him in there with no, well-known contenders or anything like that, but it is what it is. That's what happens when you got powerful promoters behind you. A lot of money's being invested into your career because they actually see something in you. So, when you got money backing you and you got some powerful, influential people in your corner, you could pretty much not necessarily cut corners, but, you could accelerate your path towards, a world title. You know what I mean? A motherfucker who's starting off their career with no promoter and is doing little small club shows, it's going to take them a little longer to get to the top in comparison to like an elite level amateur, that's being signed by, one of the biggest promotional companies in the world. It is what it is. Xander Zayas was a decorated amateur. Top Rank seen a lot of potential in him. They felt like he had what it took to be a star. And July to August is looking like it's going to be his moment to either – it's going to make or break him. He either going to rise to the occasion and, put on a good performance against Sebastian Fundora and become unified world champ, or his inexperience in the ring at a high level will cost him and Sebastian Fundora will get off on him. Either way, stylistically, Stylistically, this is going to be an exciting fight, man. Xander Zayas, like I said, fundamentally sound. He likes to let his hands go. His combinations, for the most part, they pretty much textbook, and he's pretty active throughout the entire course of a fight. You feel what I mean? Sebastian Fundora, on the other hand, Sebastian Fundora, he is a tall fighter with a long reach, 6'6". Currently, he is the tallest world champion in boxing right now. There's like Jai Opataya, I think he like 6'2". Then you got like Alexander Usyk that's 6'3". Then you got like Daniel Dubois that's 6'5". And there goes Sebastian Fundora at 6'6". You would think that the tallest champion in the world would happen to be a heavyweight, but no. actually nowhere near a heavyweight. He's a junior middleweight. So we got the tallest champion in the sport currently right now, with an 80-inch reach. So for those of y'all who don't know, that's actually a 6'8" reach. This man has a 6'8" wingspan, but he likes to fight on the inside. He likes to trade. You know, he doesn't mind to take a shot, the land one as well. He likes to punch in combinations. He has a lot of dog. He has a lot of ferociousness. He got a lot of heart. And like I was saying yesterday, Fundora, he can get sparked, but he is pretty durable for the most part. I've seen him walk through more shots than, I've seen him take more good shots than actually, lay down off of some shots. You know what I'm saying? So he's a pretty sturdy dude. And he's a very difficult style to deal with if you don't have the proper tools necessary to deal with him. Like if you're not a big puncher or you don't have like this superb level of boxing intelligence or boxing ability, most likely you're going to have a tough time with Sebastian Fundora. So I really think that this fight right here between Xander and Sebastian Fundora is really going to be a test about whose will is, greater, who really wants it more, because both of these guys let their hands go. They're accustomed to being the aggressor, and both of these guys do not stop punching. So it's really going to be, who's going to give who's respect and who's going to be leading the majority of the time, in my honest opinion. This is going to be a huge test for Xander. I ain't going to lie to you. Xander is definitely going to have to bring all his tools to the forefront in this fight. He's going to have to let his hands go, of course. He's going to have to lead with his good jab, showcase some speed. But most importantly, man, he has to know to not get too greedy against somebody like Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian Fundora does have some pop on his punches, despite how skinny he looks. He does have some good pop, and he's not like a one-punch knockout artist. Neither is Xander Zayas, in all honesty. But if he puts on like a string of punches together, he can hurt you. He can drop you, and we've seen in Xander's previous bout that he can get rattled with a good shot. You see what I'm saying? So this is going to be an interesting fight, man. This is really going to show exactly who Xander is and where Xander is at in the 154-pound division. Because like I said, he pretty much skipped the line to get the world title shot. And it's not only for one belt, but two belts. So we haven't really seen him face any type of adversity. He's had, pretty much smooth sailing throughout the entire course of his career, whether he was at 40, 47, or 54. So this is going to be the ultimate test right here. It's like you playing on, rookie mode on 2K. Then now and you never had no experience playing at moderate or difficult or hard level or anything like that, you're going straight into Hall of Fame. So we going to see, man. Like, he didn't take the Virgil Ortiz route where he had to fight, top contenders back-to-back or former world champions, anything like that. Like, he got Patrick Teixeira, but, Patrick Teixeira was not the best version of himself by the time Xander got to him. I think we can all agree. You feel what I'm saying? So, interesting fight. The WBO is backing Xander Zayas. Xander feels confident. He went up to Sebastian Fundora. He wanted to do a little face-off. That right then and there told me that he knew something that the boxing world didn't know. But we should have figured, because he was at the number one spot for a good amount of time now. So it was only a matter of time before the WBO order him to, face Xander Zayas, order Sebastian Fundora to face Xander Zayas. You feel me? Dangerous Desire Bullies, what up? Ralph said, I think Xander edges it out on the scorecards. Damn. Anonymous says, I think Xander going to beat him. Jibo says, I don't know. Xander about to get into some shit with Fundora. If Xander is not defensively aware in this fight or defensively responsible, he could get broken up in this fight, man. I think Xander needs to have a good balance of offense and defense. As soon as he get his offense off, go right back to the defense. He has to fight a smart, disciplined game plan. The whole objective is to not go band for band with this nigga. Like, not try to go blow for blow or try to prove who's more macho. That's a terrible game plan. That's not the type of fight you want to get into with Fundora. And Fundora's whole objective is going to try to get Xander into a firefight. That's what he wants. That's what really makes Fundora successful in a lot of these fights, because he gets these guys to trade with him and turn it into a brawling session. Xander has to be in the mind frame where it's like, all right, I'm going to hit and not get hit. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm not punching, I'm on the defense. I'm staying sharp defensively, not falling for not falling for Sebastian's, pressure and, punch output. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm not being defensive, I'm letting my hands go and I'm leading the charge on the offensive end. You know what I'm saying? That's easier said than done. Yeah, I remember that Javante Clark fight that Sebastian Fundora had. He definitely showed some holes in his game, and he looked pretty vulnerable in there. And I think Xander is a high caliber enough fighter where he could possibly outbox Fundora. But like I said, he has to pick and choose when to fight. He has to fight when Sebastian Fundora is off balance. He has to fight when Fundora is on the defense. You know what I'm saying? But when Xander is getting his shit off, when Fundora is getting this shit off, man, Xander got to be really calculated. He has to be smart. He just got to be smart. You got to be smart. Jibo said, I'm not impressed with Xander on the last fight. I'm going with Fundora's experience. Hey, man, I can't be mad at that. That could be that could play a big factor in the fight with Xander. I don't know if Xander, well, first of all, I know for a fact Xander ain't never fight nobody as tall and rangy as Sebastian Fundora. Even though Sebastian Fundora doesn't really use his height and stuff like that, punching up is a difficult, thing to do. You know what I mean? Punching up could be a very difficult thing to do if you're not accustomed to it, especially when, Xander, who's like at least 5'10", 5'11", is usually used to punching down or punching at odd level. Punching up is going to be a task in itself. And when you're punching up, it's not as devastating as when you're punching down. So now you're going up against a taller guy who likes to let his hands go, extremely aggressive, and he's going to be punching down on you. And, when you're punching down, the punches tend to be more devastating. So Sebastian Fundora done been in the trenches before. He done faced elite level opposition. I perceive Erickson Lubin to be elite level opposition. I perceive Tim Tszyu to be elite level opposition. He done been around the block. So that might help him in this fight with Xander Zayas. However, you being too experienced or being in too many wars can also mean that you have high mileage and you could be less of a version of yourself. Sebastian Fundora looked good against Cordell Booker, but in all honesty, it was Cordell Booker. So, and the fight ended in 4 rounds. So that just lets you know that he really didn't belong in there. Yeah, shout out to these bum-ass firefighters. Shout out to the bum-ass PFD. But yeah, it just goes to show you that Cordell Booker didn't belong in there with Fundora for real. So, at least he got a little tune-up and shit. He came off of a layoff, injuries supposedly and shit like that. So, I think this is a really good fight stylistically. Wow, another one. Just to park at the fucking station. It's like, oh yeah, man, look, man, we're coming home, baby. Let's let the whole neighborhood know we're coming home. Don't ever hear them niggas leave the firehouse with their sirens on. But when they come home, oh yeah, the whole hood about to know when they parking up at the crib. Bum ass niggas. Anonymous said facts, and I feel like Booker was too small for Fundora. Among other reasons, Xander is a bigger 54. Yeah, Xander got some good things going into this fight, man. I think stylistically he could give Fundora problems. How many times has Fundora been in there with somebody who can match him from a volume standpoint? I've seen Fundora really bring the bitch out of people because he was just giving them too much fire. It was too much firepower. Like he just had too much. He had too much ammunition for them, and they would panic. They would fatigue mentally from a mental aspect. They'll be drained, and then ultimately they get packed up and get put up out of there. Xander Zayas, I think he could go round for round with him in terms of trading back and forth. I think Xander got a good gas tank just like Fundora do. I think he's a high volume puncher just like Fundora is. So it's gonna be very interesting to see, man. Will Xander crumble to the pressure of a Sebastian Fundora? He's never been in there with a guy with the style or pressure like Fundora. Will Fundora be able to continuously get hit by Xander Zayas, who's not the biggest puncher, but a solid puncher? You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be interesting to see, bro. I'm gonna be rooting for Xander Zayas, of course. You know, he is a Puerto Rican fighter. You know, I love my Puerto Rican fighters, man. Shout out to the island. And he's a young kid on the come up. I want to see him do well, but I'm not gonna act like this is gonna be easy pickings for him. I don't think it's gonna be easy pickings at all. But if Xander makes this look easy, he might be a little better than what we thought. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be a little. I think he's gonna be better than what we initially thought. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. The WBO is pushing forward with it. It seems like Xander's been, you know, clamoring for our opportunity. You know, he wanted that Virgil Ortiz opportunity. He wasn't able to get that. But it seems like Sebastian Fundora, Samson Lukowicz, it seems like they're going to be pushing forward and, you know, abiding by the mandatory, I guess. So we'll see this fight happen at the end of the summer, which is a great fight for the 154 division. And further news, which I also thought was a banger as well, Samson Lukowicz also revealed that Keyshawn Davis' first lightweight defense versus Edwin De Los Santos will most likely happen at the Garden on June 7th. Now, I did not expect that. I thought Keyshawn Davis was going to take a light touch in his first title defense for some reason. I also thought that, you know, it would actually be like a top-ranked fighter that'll be fighting. I was hearing Emmanuel Navarrete. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was hearing. I thought I was hearing that Emmanuel Navarrete was going to go back up to 35 and all that good shit. But apparently Edwin De Los Santos seems to have taken his place, according to Samson. I don't know. I don't know exactly how that's going to come together. There's nothing official. I don't see no flyers. I don't see their promoters posting anything. So I'm not going to act like this is official as of right now. But if that's a fight that's made, Keyshawn versus Edwin De Los Santos, that's a hell of a fucking fight. And kudos to Edwin De Los Santos to come off of a long layoff and go up in there with Keyshawn Davis, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for him to take on Keyshawn Davis after a long layoff, that's a gutsy move because, you know, it could be looked at as a risky move because, you know, the typical fighter nowadays, they'll take a tune-up before they get in there with somebody on the level of a Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis got a lot of momentum on his side right now. You know, he just knocked out Dennis Berinchyk, who, you know, defeated Emmanuel Navarrete at 35. You know, he's been active, and his confidence is at an all-time high. And you think Keyshawn Davis is going to want to lose in his first title defense? Absolutely not. He's going to train his ass off. And you know, he's seen Edwin De Los Santos face Shakur. He's seen how the way he had Shakur up in there, you know, refusing to engage with him and all that stuff. So this going to be a fight that Keyshawn is definitely going to be motivated for. And let's keep it honest, man. Like, I know Keyshawn and Shakur are friends and, you know, they best friends and they'll supposedly never fight each other. But one thing about these motherfuckers, man, they are competitors. They are competitors. What do I mean by that? Keyshawn is going to want to have a more dominant performance against Edwin De Los Santos than Shakur had. That's just the reality. They are competitors. They both, regardless of whether they want to admit it or not, they feel like they better than each other. So what other way to prove that they better than each other than dismantling a common opponent easier than the other? If Keyshawn, let's say Keyshawn stopped Edwin De Los Santos some way, somehow, he stops him. Everybody's going to jump out the woodwork and talk about how Keyshawn better than Shakur because look what Shakur did against Edwin and look at what Keyshawn did against Edwin. Don't tell me that this won't happen because we see Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather had these comparisons all the time. Floyd went the distance with Cotto and Pacquiao knocked out Cotto. Floyd knocked out Hatton in the later rounds and Pacquiao knocked out Hatton early. Floyd went the distance with De La Hoya and Pacquiao knocked out De La Hoya. He retired De La Hoya. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. So, you know, there's going to be some comparing and contrasting and all that shit. I already know what it is. So, well, I said all of this shit to say Keyshawn going to be extremely motivated. He's going to come in to be the best version of himself possible going in there against Edwin De Los Santos. Edwin De Los Santos, I hope I'm wrong, but, you know, it might be some disadvantages on his side. He might be a little rusty, and you don't want to be rusty with somebody who hands are sharp right now on Keyshawn Davis. You know what I'm saying? I understand he had some type of health issues he had attended to. Thank God he was able to get that, taken care of. But let's see, man. He could pose some problems for Keyshawn. If Keyshawn get a little greedy in there, Edwin De Los Santos can, hit him with a good shot. But Keyshawn got some respectable pop as well. So if Edwin get out of pocket, he might get sat down. We seen Edwin get sat down before. Everybody talk about how Ryo got fucked up and all that. Like, Edwin touched the canvas too. So it's not it is what it is. Anonymous said, I don't like the fight for Edwin because of the year layoff and injuries. I totally understand. And that might really play a factor in the fight, but Edwin De Los Santos is aware of, his injuries that he had to attend to. He was aware of his health issues. He was aware of his inactivity. So if he goes and he signs the dotted line to face Keyshawn, we shouldn't really hear any excuses. You know what I'm saying? Because he could have easily took another route, got another opportunity and then, get a little quick tune-up. That's what I meant by that. Get a little tune-up and then, then explore the bigger fights. But if he's going straight into the smoke, obviously he confident in himself about something. He feel like ring rust not an issue. He feel like his injuries and his health problems not an issue. So go ahead, let him go and let him take them opportunities. No, the fight is not announced yet, Yasir. I'm going off of a post by Lance Pugmire, who's a credible source in the boxing world, and he said that he had just had a conversation with Samson Lukowicz, and they told him, and he was able to get two things out of Samson. One, Samson and Sebastian Fundora will comply with the WBO's mandate of Xander Zayas, so they should be fighting. They should be fighting around the July-August area, and then Keyshawn Davis' first lightweight defense should be against Edwin De Los Santos, likely bound for Madison Square Garden, June 7th. So that's two big things that I wanted to speak about. I love those fights. Xander Zayas versus Fundora, stylistically an exciting war, and may very well be. And Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos, we got the boxer puncher and Edwin De Los Santos, who got some good speed. He's youthful, and although he's inactive, he's very dangerous. We got Keyshawn Davis on the other hand, who also got some pop on his punches. He got some dog in him. He like when fights break out at times, but he's a smart, calculated fighter as well with underrated defense, in my opinion. So this nigga said, I got Edwin De Los Platanos versus Key. That's crazy. Edwin De Los Platanos. That nigga Slime came in here on all bullshit. Shout out to my boy Slime. But great fights, and hopefully they get made. And I've seen Samson Lukowicz talk about how they not taking no fights to Saudi Arabia and shit like that, and they ain't doing no numbers. Well, and it is what it is. That's his opinion and all that bullshit. But it's good to see people other than Turkey Al-Sheikh making good, meaningful fights happen. Because I ain't gonna lie, Turkey Al-Sheikh was putting belt to ass for a good amount of time now. Just making all these big ass fights while motherfuckers just sitting around twiddling their thumbs and shit. It's good to see PBC coming together and making some good, meaningful fights. If they're able to make Fundora versus Xander, fire, great fight. If they're able to make De Los Santos versus Keyshawn Davis, fire. I love that fight. You know what I mean? Top Rank giving Xander the green light. It seemed like they giving Bruce Carrington the green light as well. They letting Richard Torres off of the chain against the dude Guido. So it's gonna be some good fights in 2025, man. A lot of these, high level prospects and contenders, they're gonna have to answer that phone and take on some tough challenges. They letting motherfuckers off the leash this year. You know what I mean? So that's some good shit. They said Norman and Bruce on the same card. This Saturday, Norman and Bruce on the same card. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Well, that's good. That's good. You know what I'm saying? We get to see Brian Norman. I don't know what they got. I don't know what they got against this Cuevas dude, but they just been so hell-bent on fighting him. So we'll see exactly where Norman is at, and hopefully he don't fuck that money up, because there's some good fights that Norman can make after this potential win. And then, Bruce Carrington, he better not fuck this money up neither, because You know, he's a highly ranked contender at what 126 right now. And at any moment he could get a call for a world title shot. You know, every win is important, but these wins right here could lead you to some legacy defining shit. You know, these wins right here can really lead you to a fight where you can win a world title and change your life for the better for you, your kids, your family. You know what I'm saying? So you really gotta lock the fuck in and get that shit going. Coffee Plant said 8 Mayor rematching. Yeah, I think she fighting the girl that she had beat previously. I forgot her name. But you know, they had some type of beef because Michaela Mayer had left her coaches. What was her name? Like Sandy Ryan. What's her name again? Who's Michaela Mayer fighting? Yeah, Sandy Ryan. That was a girl that she had beat previously back in 2024, and they running it back. They running it back, and they had some type of beef going on because Michaela used to train with these certain group of people, and then Sandy Ryan came in, so there was some type of tension in the building. So I guess Michaela removed herself and got another team. I don't know, but regardless, um, there's some bad blood between them. That shit definitely personal. Yeah, I heard about that whole she threw paint on her type shit. I don't fucking know. I don't know what happened. But one thing I do know is that they don't like each other. They definitely don't like each other. So we'll see. I'll be seeing niggas simping over Michaela Mayer on social media too. I'm like, yo, Michaela not even like that. She a regular ass white girl. Like you can find her at any motherfucking mall around South Jersey. This who these niggas be simping over, babe. Look.
Ew.
That's what I'm saying. She regular as hell. There's some pretty girls in female boxing. She ain't one of them though. I don't know why they be piping her up. You can find a girl that look like Michaela Mayer anywhere, bro. She Reggie, cuz I'm trying to tell you. But niggas just be, I don't know, niggas just be horny. I don't know. Niggas weird. Damn, yo. Can you plug this charger over there? Cause the Wi-Fi box charger is covering it. But you said Michaela Mayer looked like Nico. Who the fuck is that? Let me see. Yo, you drawing. You said Michaela looked like Nico Mannion? That's grimy. Lorenzo says Starbucks are full of Michaela Mayers. Fuck. Facts. That's crazy. I don't know why they be piping her up. But anyways, man, we spoke about Xander Zayas versus Fundora, Keyshawn De Los Santos. We spoke about that. I think those are both great fights, and hopefully they're able to manifest and the politics of boxing don't get involved and fucking these things up. You know what I'm saying? So with that all being said, man, let's get into some open boxing topics. Shit, I was supposed to have Greg Hackett on, man. My apologies. He said he was tired. He wasn't feeling too good. So, you know what I mean? We're gonna check in tomorrow to see if we can get something going and have some good boxing talk. You feel what I'm saying? So in the meanwhile, man, let's get into some open boxing topics. Let's see what people got to say. Let's see what the people thinking about. Wait, what? Looked like Rolly for a second when he was reaching on the ropes. What? Charlo looking like he's gonna return. Who do you think is a good bout for him? Yeah, and I was hearing that, he may possibly return at the end of the summer. And I'm like, bro, what's the hold up? What's the wait? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's already taken enough time off. Like, he should be getting a fight date as soon as possible. Even if he's a co-main event, man, just get him back in the ring. Get him in, even if it's a light touch, bro, just give him somebody. You know what I'm saying? I don't really understand what the whole wait is for. So what, he gonna fight at the end of the summer and not fight for the rest of the year? Like, come on, man. Why Keith Thurman fought, earlier in 2025 than Charlo? That shit don't make no sense, man. But he looked like he looking to reclaim his throne at 154, whether we like it or not. Jamel Charlo is the man to beat in that weight class. You know what I'm saying? I understood he went up 2 weight classes and took a chance with Canelo, and they stripped him of a majority of his belts. But he's still that guy in the division, in my opinion. It's a totally different setting since Charlo left. You know what I mean? Charlo came back, and 4 more monsters done popped up. You know what I mean? So he got to take care of them. But he seems confident in his ability to take over the division again. And Charlo got some good fights that he could partake in. Like Jamel versus fucking Bakr Murtazaliev is a crazy fight. You know what I'm saying? Jamel versus the winner of Fundora and Zayas. It's a good fight. Like these are some good fights. I mean, Terrence Crawford, he not around right now, but imagine if they were able to fight. I called for that fight. And I seen Keith Thurman calling out Jamel Charlo after he beat Brock Jarvis. Shit, that would be a good comeback fight for Jamel. Why not? Why not? Now that I think about it, if Earl Spence gonna be sitting around and not trying to fight nobody, talking about he ain't ready yet, then why not a Jamel Charlo versus Keith Thurman? Keith Thurman, that's a good comeback fight to come back to. He still give you some problems, but you should beat him. Keith only drink water from Lake Minnetonka. Facts. But every time he take a sip out that motherfucking lake, that nigga hairline go back 3 inches. That's the problem. I mean, that nigga need to Keith Thurman need to go ahead and call them niggas that did Floyd Mayweather hairline. He need to go ahead. Like, if you gonna hold on to that shit, bro, you know what I mean? Put together like 50 racks, take your ass to Turkey, and let them niggas fix your hairline for you. Bro, that nigga, I'm trying to tell you. You know what what's that dude name? What was the dude name? Achilles. You know that? You know about that story, babe? Achilles, where he dipped himself in the fountain of youth. But the only thing that they dipped him in the fountain of youth, but the only thing they didn't dip to make him like young was, or strong or invincible, whatever, was his Achilles. So when he got hit, I think that's what killed him. It's like them niggas dipped Keith in the water and got him and got his whole body except his hairline. Cause he looked youthful in there, but that nigga hairline make him look like he 50. Like, there's no way you got a Stephen A. Smith hairline, bro. Like, that shit, that's crazy. They said Thurman get his hair cut with nail clippers. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Huh?
He gets his hair cut with nail clippers.
He get his shit lined up with a nail clipper. Thurman would be a good little highlight reel KO for Jamel. Hey, look, I like that fight. I would prefer, honestly, to see Spence and Thurman. But if Spence going to be setting his ass down and not wanting to rumble or whatever the case is, all right, cool. Thurman versus Jamel. Why not? Jamel coming off of a layoff. Keith Thurman just got back in the mix off of like a 3-year layoff. Let's see something. That'll be a great build-up. Jamel like to talk shit. Keith Thurman like to talk shit. Why the fuck not? Keith Thurman at 54 now. Jamel trying to reclaim his throne. If he go ahead and watch Thurman coming off of a victory and some activity, that'll be a good job to get him back in the mix. PBC, in-house fight. Why not? And I was watching a video too that he put up. He still looks strong. He still look powerful. You know what I mean? Turning them punches over. I noticed Derrick James wasn't holding the pads for him. I thought that was interesting. I wonder if he's still with Derrick James or not. Thurman is washed. Nothing changed. The nigga he knocked out started at 115. I'm aware of that. We was talking about that yesterday. But still, regardless, Jamel coming back into 54. I seen Thurman calling out Jamel. Why not? I'll let him fight in Australia. Yeah, he was about to fight Tim Tszyu in Australia, I think. I don't know what Keith Thurman got going on with No Limit in them, but they've been very accepting of him and wanting him to, fight their fellow Australians. So I like it. I like the fight, man. Jamel could also get in a good fight against a comeback fight at 154 for Jamel. That's a good joint right now. Let's see. Let's look over the 154 division. Let's look over. Let's take a look. That's crazy that Fundora has 2 of the titles at 154 and he's ranked number 10 on BoxRec. They have the most terrible. Like Keith Thurman is ranked ahead of Sebastian Fundora right now. That's disgusting, bro. That's disgusting. Yo, it would be a good fight, Jamel versus Bohachuk. Sheesh. That's a good fight right there, boy. What y'all think? Jamel versus Serhii Bohachuk. Yeah, bro, I'm not lying to you. Let me share the screen real quick so y'all can see it. Thurman is ranked above Sebastian Fundora right now. Look at this. Terrence Crawford, number 1. Bakram, number 2. Virgil, number 3. Xander, number 4. Bohachuk, number 5. Thurman, number 6. Majimov, number 7. Conwell, number 8. Jesus Ramos, number 9. Sebastian Fundora, number 10. And Tim Tszyu, a close 11th. Crazy. You think Serhii will beat Jamel to a pulp? I think you got Jamel fucked up. Damn, that's how y'all feeling? Stop motion, that's how you feeling? Damn. Damn, Jamel left the block for a little bit. Bohachuk, damn, Lorenzo said Bohachuk smokes him. Damn. Damn. Bohachuk will beat him right now, to be honest. I think Jamel needs some momentum first. Damn. Sheesh. Lorenzo said, what you think of Parr versus Cambozo fight in Australia? Now that Camboso is at 140. I'll tell you what, I prefer I prefer Cambosos to fight Paro in comparison to Hitchens. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see Hitchens defend his title against George Cambosos because he beat up on a nobody that's from Australia. You know what I'm saying? Paro coming off of a loss. Cambosos, you know what I mean? He got a victory in his last fight, but he lost the majority of his bouts prior to that. You know what I'm saying? So why not have them fight each other? Australian versus Australian in Australia. That'll make some good money. That's what Cambosos is about, right? He talking about how his car worth more than niggas' paychecks and shit. You about the money. You made your management done put you in some good money positions. Go put yourself in another one. Paro and Cambosos would do some good bread out there in Australia. And then whoever win that, then you can start talking about them fighting for the title. If Cambosos go ahead and he defeat Paro some way, somehow, he should be looking at a title shot next. Then Hitchens could be justified in fighting him. But nah. Dude said he bought a ticket prior to them getting the call for the fight. Yeah, I remember that. Why Hitchens fighting Cambosos, I don't know. I mean, Cambosos just signed with Eddie Hearn. He moved up to 140. You know, Hitchens is an Eddie Hearn fighter, so maybe Eddie just putting Cambosos in position while at the same time bigging up Hitchens' resume. Black Caesar, what up? He said, "Yo, what up, Mazuma? Fundora gonna brutalize Xander." Damn, that's how you know it's a good fight because you got a few people, a good amount of people in the comments saying Xander will beat Fundora. Then you got a good amount of people in the comments saying Fundora gonna beat up Xander. So that's how you know you got a good competitive fight when you don't have like a decisive winner in the chat. Cambosa should fight Montana Love. They both matching. Why hasn't Eddie Hearn done that yet? I don't know. Cambosa's will probably try to downplay Montana Love. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll try to play him. I don't think Cambosa will give him that opportunity. That'd be a good fight though. I'll watch that. Forever Dedicated said, "I don't like that Hitchens Cambosa's fight, bro. Nobody does. Nobody does. But what can we do? Matias is Hitchens mandatory. Well, they didn't mandate it yet. I mean, he ranked number 1 right now after that last fight he just had, but they didn't mandate it yet. Because once they mandate it, Hitchens can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? He can't fight nobody else. He still has the option. He still got some time on his side. You know what I mean? They probably going to try to lock in that Cambosa's fight ASAP, or at least before the IBF order something. So, you know what I mean? Look like Hitchens trying to get an easy defense in his first, he trying to get an easy first defense. Because there's no way Cambosa is going to defeat Hitchens, bro. Like, I really don't see that. Like, I don't see anything Cambosa does that Hitchens is going to be shook about. That's why Hitchens is so optimistic in fighting him. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro, Hitchens, if he feels like stylistically he got your number, he going to talk crazy about you. He going to run up to you, talk all this crazy shit, talk about what he going to do to you and all that. Then when a certain style comes up and the fans want to see him fight that style, then he talking about how he don't rock with the IBF and rehydration clauses and shit. Hitchens is a pussy, bro. I'm telling you. Hitchens wants the easy bag. Bro, he gonna beat Cambosa with a jab, bro. Like, no disrespect to Cambosa, former unified world champion and all that. He did his thing, he beat T.O. So he can't be that bad, right? But Hitchens, with the type of style that he got, and how the way Cambosa likes to box and shit like that, he not necessarily like no rough, tough, brawling motherfucker, bro. Hitchens gonna outbox him all day, keep that jab in his face, you know what I mean? Drop the 1-2 on him, move on him. He's gonna completely shut out Cambosa. That shit not even gonna be close. Shout out to my boy Lorenzo with the $5 super chat. He says, "Hitchens, I'm coming, you motherfucker." Yeah. Hitchens, Super be drawing. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, motherfucker. Yeah, he talking crazy. Super been talking crazy about Hitchens, bro. Been talking crazy about him. Even when Super was champion, he was talking about how Hitchens a bitch. Talking greasy. Forever Dedicated say, "You think it's selective smoke?" That's exactly what it is. You know that. Where you ever heard that term selective smoke from, man? You got that from me, man. That's exactly what Hitchens got. Selective smoke. He got picks. Trust me. Hitchens one of your favorite fighters, but this ducking got to stop. I agree. At least you keeping it 1,000 stop motion. I rock with that. Niggas be fans of Hitchens and shit, act like, the duckery ain't obvious. Rouse said it's a bad look on T.O. if he lose to Barbosa. This dude been saying you've been avoiding him since 2021, and you finally fight him and you lose. That's a terrible look. Yeah, he can't lose this fight. With all of the big fights that's on the horizon for T.O., bro, and him being associated with Turkey, he gotta win this fight, because if he loses to Barbosa's gonna catapult to a new level and possibly get the fights that you looking for, which is, T.O. wants to fight. You let T.O. tell it, he'll fight anybody, but that's gonna ruin some big money fights with like a Haney, a Ryan, possibly a Rolly if he beat Ryan, shit like that. You got Barbosa over Teofimo? Damn. I think T.O. gonna get him. I think he gonna rise to the occasion in this fight. He inconsistent, but I think he gonna rise to the occasion in this fight. I think T.O. can out slick him. I think he got faster hands and he more athletic. I think he could beat him. I mean, I don't really care for T.O. to win, but I think he could beat Barbosa. That's why I was so confused as to why he was ducking him and avoiding him, telling people from Top Rank, don't let that bum in the ring, man. Don't let that bum in the ring. Like, what? Why not? That bum happens to be the number one guy in the WBO. Can't be that much of a bum. And plus, Barbosa done beat some solid niggas, bro. He done beat some solid dudes, bro. Barbosa been on a run. Like, I remember niggas was just bigging up Jack Catterall, bro. Y'all was just bigging him up. Oh no, bro, he underrated, man. Like, Jack Catterall, this, and he a top dog. All right, Barbosa just beat him. You know what I'm saying? Jose Ramirez, former unified champion at 140, he beat him. Who he beat? Pedraza? That's another good one. That's another former world champion. He deserve it. I thought Catterall was gonna get Barbosa too. I ain't even gonna lie to you, because Catterall was on a little run. He was racking up some good wins. Yeah, bro. After Catterall did what he did, after what Catterall did with Regis, everybody talking about how Catterall, that nigga, talking all this greasy shit. Then Barbosa got the cooking. You know what I mean? He proved me wrong. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought Jack Catterall had it. But Barbosa could box, man. He's solid. You know what I mean? It's a good fight. Barbosa Tio's a good fight. Barbosa got his ass slapped though, playing around. He let Tio get off with that. This the thing, bro. I don't know how niggas don't be noticing it, but it's like, bro, if you get in physical with a fighter and he hands somebody else his belt or takes his hat off or he taking something off or removing something off of himself, that means he about to do some fuck shit, bro. Like, when I seen David Benavidez give dude his belt, I knew he was gonna push Morrell. You know what I mean? You could see Tio got embarrassed. He got pissed off when Barbosa slapped his head off. So he handed that belt over to whoever was in the crowd, whoever was next to him, and I knew Tio was gonna do something. How these niggas don't be peeping that? Soon as I peep that, bro, somebody doing that to me, I'm getting right out of range. Fuck that. You ain't even about to get that opportunity to slap me. Because if you slap me, this money getting fucked up. I'm telling you. Yeah, that slap, the head slap was. But at the same time, a lot of people not too fond of having a hat touch their forehead while they facing off with somebody. And plus, they don't really like each other, so that don't help neither. They said T.O. is about to sing the YMCA song. That's crazy. Yo, what did y'all think about that Bill Haney and Gabe Rosado argument on the Boxing Voice? I want to know what y'all think of that, man, because I listened to it, and I ain't gonna lie, bro. I want to hear what y'all think before I say anything. I want to hear what y'all think. What did y'all think of that argument they had on the Boxing Voice? Yeah, who y'all backing in that situation? Who y'all backing in that situation? Forever Dedicated said Gabe hating. Style Motion said I thought Gabe cooked him. Lorenzo said it was corny in my opinion. Bill Haney won. Do you think so? Why you think that? I ain't gonna lie, man. I usually back Bill, especially when, he's defending his son from like these racists and all this other shit. But like Bill would look kind of stupid in there, bro. That situation in particular, I thought he looked real dumb because I was like, all right, you know what I mean? Because I gave Bill the benefit of the doubt. Mike from VA says, I think that was crazy how Ness brought Bill Haney on the panel. Corny. I think Ness give Gabe a warning, like, you sure you want me to bring him on here? Well, he a content creator and he looking to get some views off of his channel. So if he gonna stir up some drama, he gonna stir it up. Mill City do it all the time. Mill City do it all the time. He'll bring two niggas on the platform that he know don't like each other and will let these niggas argue. Like it ain't. That's just what content creators do. But yeah, bro. Like yeah. It was. Look, man. I had to go back and see what Bill was so mad about because I'm like, all right, maybe Gabe said some whole shit about Dev or whatever the case is, right? So I went back and watched it, and from what I watched, I didn't watch the whole show in its entirety, but I heard Gabe Rosado say that Jose Ramirez is not considering what Devin Haney went through in his last fight, Jose Ramirez isn't the ideal opponent to come back to. That's what I heard him say. I didn't hear him say anything about, Devin in a disrespectful manner. Devin Haney responded on social media, said some shit about Gabe's record or whatever the case is, and, all types of shit. So Gabe, being who he is, and just being a man, he defended himself and shot shots back at Devin Haney. I don't know, man. Like I didn't really see what there was to be upset about, from what Gabe said. If Gabe is entitled to his opinion just like anybody else. Gabe was wild and talk about he one of a kind. If you really think about it, he is though. The nigga's like 26 and 17, bro. This nigga done lost all these different fights, but he still finds himself in big fights. Not only that, but Gabe sells tickets. He sells tickets. He's respected all over the place. Yo, Gabe has to be one of very few Puerto Rican fighters that is really loved by the Mexican community. Like, he's really loved by the Mexican community, bro. They be claiming him in LA, and he from Philly. He get more love in LA than he do in Philly. That's why he moved over there, in my opinion. So Gabe is one of a kind. How many niggas that's 26 and 17 and still get the love, admiration, and respect that Gabe get? Gabe not saying he one of a kind as like I'm an all-time great, like I can't be no, he talking about considering what he's been through in his career. He started boxing late. Gabe started boxing when he was like 16, 17. Started off as small shows, he didn't have no big promoters backing him. He built himself all the way to being the number one contender at 154 for a belt, throwing that away to go fight a prime Triple G. And from there, Gabe could rumble a little bit. He not bad. I actually thought that he got robbed. I thought he got robbed against Jalen Love. I thought he got robbed against Peter Quillen. I thought he got robbed against Daniel Jacobs. I thought he got robbed against Luis Arias. Imagine if he would have had them 4 wins right there. Imagine if he beat Jay Leon. All right, he got all these losses, but he beat Jay Leon Love. He beat Peter Quillen, former world champion. Daniel Jacobs, former world champion. And then he goes and he beats Luis Arias. And I'm sure there was other fights he got robbed in. Quillen and Jacobs were clear robbery. Bro, you got to see the Jay Leon Love one, bro. You got to see the Jay Leon Love one. And not too long ago, Gabe Rosado had like knockout of the year against Beck the Bully. So he may very well be one of a kind. Like, I think it's just him and Derek Chisora who got all these losses, but they really loved by their people. Because every time they fight, regardless of whether they win or lose, they get applauded because they give it everything they got. Whether they go out on their shield. I seen Gabe get the shit beat out of him. I seen David Lemieux beat the shit out of Gabe. I seen Alfredo Angulo beat the shit out of Gabe. I've seen he came back against Selecki, but I seen Selecki whooping Gabe ass in that ring in Philly. Derek loves losing. Well, Chisora, he done lost a whole bunch, but guess what? Derek Chisora is one of the most loved motherfucking fighters in the UK right now. Gabe said he the greatest gatekeeper of all time. You know why? Because Gabe done been in so many big fights, made millions of dollars, and he still got the love and respect from the people. Some niggas got different, and he was trying to tell Bill, like, yo, we had different, you can't even compare us. We had different lanes, and Bill was not trying to hear him out, bro. So I thought Dev's response was corny. To Gabe. Gabe snapped back as usual, and then Bill looked at it as, Gabe disrespecting Dev, so he just defending his son. No, your son initiated all of that. It all started with a comment that Gabe made that was essentially his opinion, and it wasn't disrespect towards your son. Your son just got in his feelings about it. Gabe defended himself. You know what I'm saying? And now you mad because he came sideways at your son when your son the one that started it. Gabe definitely made millions, bro. Gabe made millions. Trust me. Gabe made millions. I know that for a fact. Like, I know people related to Gabe, and I know people real close to Gabe. He made millions, bro. Like, he wasn't getting if you look over the totality of his career and all the big fights he's been in, Gabe made millions. Gabe definitely living comfortably. He had I don't know if he still do, but he had a whole gym out in LA. Yeah, Gabe doing fine. I never heard about Gabe being broke or none of that. So when I heard, you could tell Bill was just throwing like haymakers, bro. Like the points he was making on that live with Gabe, you could tell he knew nothing about Gabe. The nigga was just talking. So like he ain't do no research. All that nigga did was pull up a box rec. It was like, oh, well, you fought him, and him. Hey, man, you a bastard. Man, you a bastard. You can tell you're falling out of your life. Bro, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Gabe Rosado father done been in his corner his entire career. Like, what is like? Well, you're not a bastard. You're a loser, and your dad's a loser. Huh? Like, Bill, you gotta shut the fuck up, man, because on some real shit, bro, like you talking about shit you don't even know what you talking about. And that's what Gabe was trying to tell you. Like, what is you talking about? And I like the fact that Gabe didn't really go out of his way to explain to Bill how he was wrong. He just knew he was wrong, so he was just brushing it off. Like, you could just see that there was you could tell who was in their feelings and who wasn't. You know what I mean? Because Gabe was like, oh, this nigga stupid. He don't know what he talking about. And didn't really care to explain anything to Bill. And Bill the whole time was just like I said, throwing haymakers, just hoping that one land. Yeah, bro. So I thought this was a rare Bill Haney L. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I usually be backing Bill, on a lot of the shit that he say because I like how the way he, loves and supports his son. But that situation in particular, I don't know. That shit was kind of corny, bro. Like, so what? Motherfuckers can't have opinions now? You know what I'm saying? Like, I liked how Bill Haney was pressing that dude that was mediating that press conference because I thought he was being a little disrespectful to Dev, so I'm backing him for that. But the Gabe Rosado situation, not at all. Yeah, he lost, bro. What did Bill say that, like, that back and forth right there? What did Bill say that was like, oh, well, he got a point? Like, towards Gabe. Like, what did he say that was, like, so mind-blowing? Like, everybody know that Gabe Rosado, 26 and 17. We know the nigga never won a world title. But you know what makes that corny? Gabe didn't, he wasn't, like, when this whole shit started off, he wasn't discrediting Devin Haney. He wasn't discrediting Devin Haney. He just said that Jose Ramirez is not a good fight to, come back to. That's not the type of nigga that you get back in the mix with coming off of a bad fight like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like that's all Gabe said. Devin Haney responded emotionally. So Gabe clapped back. Why wouldn't he? He defended himself. That's what any other man would do. Oh, why are you gonna say this about me? All right, let me say this about you. It was a response. It wasn't like he initiated it. Your son did. Unless I'm tripping. I love what Bill do. I like how the way he promotes his son, how he supports his son. I hope to do the same. I know for a fact I'm gonna do the same thing for whatever my son decides to do in his life. You know what I'm saying? I aspire to be the father that Bill Haney is. You feel what I mean? I love what he's doing. But that right there, that was corny, bro. That was corny. And I think towards the end of the live, Bill was like, oh, we got to understand. And I think he even took back some of the shit he said. But that initial confrontation, nah, I wasn't feeling that at all. You know what I mean? It was corny. It was corny as shit. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, he on a whole podcast, and Nick and Abdamares asked him a question. He answered it. No disrespect towards your son. And you going out of your way to assume he ain't got a dad. So when Bill say, yo, a lot of these motherfuckers, they be hating on my son because they ain't got a father. I seen a lot. I looked over the landscape of niggas who be hating on Dev, and I noticed a lot of these niggas ain't got fathers. Great point. But that don't apply to everybody, especially when they wasn't disrespecting your son in the first place. Yeah, I mean, like, nah. Gabe had his father. His father was in his corner. And that nigga just as good of a father as you. You know why? Because he was always there for his son. He never missed a moment with his son. Even though his son didn't have like this spectacular undefeated world championship career, he helped his son accumulate millions of dollars to take care of him and his family. And Gabe Rosado was, able to retire. I know he might just come back and take a fight or whatever if the money right, but Gabe Rosado done been on the biggest stages, performed in front of millions of people, and made millions of dollars. That sounds like a great fucking father to me. Yeah, Bill was making money before boxing. We know that. But I feel like that's irrelevant. Who cares? I'm talking about, him talking about him calling Gabe Rosado's dad a loser. Oh, that nigga, he's a great father just like you, bro. And on some real shit, bro, great fathers will always be winners in my book, regardless of their financial situation, regardless of what they're going through, health-wise, all of that. If you an attentive father, active father, loving father, supportive father, you a winner. And it's really that simple. So I perceive Bill Haney to be a winner. I perceive Gabe Rosado's father to be a winner. And I feel like that's how it should be, point blank, period. You know, nigga, Gay Rosado dad caught it straight for no reason. What the fuck did he do to you? He caught it straight because you so desperate to defend your son. Come on, man. Niggas gotta tighten up a little bit. That's all. And you know, it's another thing. I'm sick of Bill talking about the voice of the streets. Like, Bill, you gave that shit up a long time ago to attend to your son and help him, bro. Leave that. Stop talking that street shit, bro. New niggas is out here. You already know them new niggas run them old niggas off the block every time. Cut it out. But that's just my opinion on the whole situation, bro. Yeah, you gotta do your research on Bill. You gotta do your research on Bill. I ain't gonna say what he got into, but he was out here. Yeah, we definitely too old for the street shit. Shit, I feel like I'm too old for the street shit, and I ain't even 30 yet. Shit. But yeah, that shit was goofy, bro. Super goofy. I'm trying to remember what else Bill said. And Gabe was like, bro, we took you over here trying to shit on my career. You know what I mean? Like, I had to work. This nigga said I had to work 2 jobs while I'm training for fights and shit. He was really giving them the rundown. He was like, bro, like, yeah, you was paying for bouts in Mexico. Oh, so what you saying? All the boxers in Mexico, you trying to say that they trash? No, nigga. But at the same time, if I go with $500 over to Mexico right now, I can make my pro debut and beat somebody ass right now. Marcus Rosa could go with $600, $700, $800 to Mexico right now. I could go to Tijuana, pick an opponent out the motherfucking crowd who happens to be a fucking professional fighter with 2 wins and 20 losses, beat the shit out of him, and then become an undefeated professional boxer. That's what Devin Haney did because he was too young to fight professionally in the States. He was like, bro, you was handpicking and buying, bouts in Tijuana. I had to get whatever was sent over to me. I felt that because I've seen fighters go through that. But let's get one more question in before we get up out of here, man, because a nigga is ready for sleep. So you think Farmer could beat Cepeda? Yes. Yes, but what happened? I think Tevin could beat Cepeda. Yeah, anonymous. That's what I said. He went pro in Mexico because he was too young at the time to compete professionally in the States. I think Tevin could be Cepeda, but the thing is, Tevin Farmer, I don't know if it's he fatigues or he loses focus, whatever the case is, but he was giving Cepeda too many moments at certain times. You know what I'm saying? Where like he'll just sit in the pocket and just try to go, try to fight with him. Bro, nah, you gotta be on your bicycle, you gotta box, you gotta counter the man. Cause Cepeda's relatively easy to hit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you shouldn't be there to receive whatever he's firing back. So I think he should. I think he should be boxing and moving, boxing and moving. I think he should try to make Cepeda look as terrible as possible. Really expose his flaws in the ring. You know what I mean? You standing and planting your feet in there with Cepeda, that's just giving him opportunity to outwork you. And he gonna outwork Tev every time because Tevin don't let his hands go like Cepeda. You know what I'm saying? So he said the mindless consumer said he got Knox Cepeda out. He won't win on the cards. Yeah, we know that. We know that. Tevin know what he up against, so hopefully he prepared properly. Because if not, the same shit gonna happen in the second fight. Same shit gonna happen in the second fight that happened in the first fight, bro. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love to the channel, man. If y'all could hit the like, hit the subscribe button. You know what I mean? We do this on a regular basis, man. It's Mazuma TV, the home of boxing excellence. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all go ahead. Let's get the algorithm on the up. I'm gonna try to get Greg Hackett on the show tomorrow. I'll keep you guys posted on that. Until then, y'all have a blessed, beautiful night. I'm out of here, man. Peace.